Welcome back to another episode of These Crazy People that just keep eating meat and can't stop talking about it. I'm Tom. I got a cast of the usual characters plus one. We got Justin, Raymond, and Brooke with us. And today, a returning talent from the past. We got Chris with us. And today, our topic is what, Justin?
The healing benefits of potatoes. We're
Right.
straying from the carnivore ideology, carnivore talking, carnivoreness. I don't know. But we're going to talk about potatoes today, everyone's favorite snack. At least it was mine. I mean, who honestly doesn't love a good fry? So, who in this group has never eaten potatoes in any form?
Guilty.
All right, favorite potato dish, go.
Mashed potato.
Mashed potato. Okay, loaded, like with bacon and cheese, or like
French
were you just
Wait,
like
wait. That's
butter?
baked potato. That's baked potato.
No, you can do loaded. You never had loaded mashed potatoes?
I mean, I usually have butter in the mashed potato, and but not cheese. And what else? Chives. And all that.
Bacon, chives, yeah.
Bacon. No,
Garlic.
I only
Baked
knew that for
potato.
baked potato.
Baked potato.
See, there you go, baked potato.
I love baked potato.
Yeah.
Told you guys my baked potato, right? My baked potato stories. So I used to go to Soup Plantation all the time with my ex. And yeah, I'd always get the baked potato. But the baked potato, so you had the sour cream, the chives, it was like a little bar, right? At Soup Plantation. But right next to it was the honey and the chocolate syrup. And like one day I was like, I'm staring at that honey while I'm making my baked potato. What happens if I cross the stream, if I cross the Rubicon and put a little bit of honey on my baked potato? So then I started doing that, and it was delicious. Like the sweet with the sour cream, with the like chives and the like cheese and the potato, like all of it together was just
Yeah,
it was
rock
so
top,
good.
man. That's right. I have done ketchup with my mashed potatoes. That was not bad, actually.
Okay,
Yeah,
gross.
I've done gravy. I've done gravy with my mashed potatoes. I've done French fries and cheese. I've done that, mozzarella. I've done that stuff, yeah. And then broccoli, and went to Wendy's and the like the the liquid
Broccoli.
orange cheese, yeah. Like, because when you go to Wendy's, they got broccoli, they got the baked potato, they got the cheese on it, they got the whole shebang.
Wow.
So I had my experience of baked potatoes, but then I didn't really like baked potatoes because I was always sweet potatoes because I'm a sweet guy inside. You know what I'm saying?
Sweet potato. Oh,
Always
I never
get the
liked-
sweet potato fries. The upgrade, it's $1.50 to upgrade to sweet potato fries, but I always paid it because it was always worth it.
Yeah.
If we dial
That's
things
lovely.
way back, there were these giant steak fries that came with nacho cheese and chili in college. You know, it's, I don't know, one of the little places you go get food at there that were, it was pretty magical. It's all complete junk food, you know, like the lowest grade French fries probably, and then like nacho cheese out of a can, and then like chili out of a can, and it was heaven when you're 18, 19 years old, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And not too far from that, has anybody ever been to the Hat? Because they do
Yeah.
cheese fries. You can get pastrami on it with.
Nah,
That's pretty.
it's not here. It's not here in New York. It's not a New York thing.
Yeah.
And another thing that's not in New York that only me, Brooke, and Tom can attest to is the animal fries. Yeah, from In-N-Out. Because they put the
The what?
special sauce, animal fries. It's fries with a layer of cheese, layer of special sauce, and topped with grilled onions. And
Oh,
it's
wow.
just, they're good for the first 2 minutes, but then as soon as they get as soon as they touch the air, they start to get dry and crusty, and the fries get like cold really quick, and then you're just stuck with this crusty, stuck together, cheesy, oniony, pasty. Like you feel like it's mortar at that point. Like you could start making concrete walls out of it. But that
the
first
blob.
couple minutes is delicious.
It does become the blob from hell that you can't stop eating.
The The only thing that I've ever had ketchup on is French fries.
Mm.
I used to put ketchup on everything.
Yeah,
So did I. It was ketchup on everything. And then you say gross with my mashed potato. I literally had ketchup with everything. Oh, except for my cereal. I've never put ketchup in my cereal.
Also, we have to say hash browns.
There's always
Hash
tomorrow.
browns. Hash browns are really good.
Hash browns or tater tots.
Yeah,
No,
hash browns
ketchup.
are tater tots. Yeah, right. No
I
kidding.
love hash browns. Yeah.
Oh, it's another freaking potato. I didn't even.
Yeah, potato. That's right.
That's
Tater
right.
tots too.
On Denny's, I would get hash browns, but I'd have them cook them extra, and they'd be like really crusty and good with a bunch of ketchup.
Justin,
That's
when's
the
the
way it
last
was
time
for
you
me.
ate a potato?
McDonald's French fries were my thing, man, because it's just soaked in grease. And I did have ketchup with the little hash browns. Yeah, man. I remember all that stuff, man. Yes,
Justin, when's
sir.
the last time you had a potato?
Yeah, Chris. When was the last time?
It's been over 2 years for sure since I've had a potato. Well, okay. Every time I go out eat with you, you dare me to eat one fry. So I guess it's been like
Yeah,
4
we
months.
always wait till the end of the meal and the fries have been sitting there for an hour and they're
Oh my
stone
God,
cold. They're nasty.
When was the last time I had a potato?
Yeah, contemplate it there, Raymond.
Mine's like 6 years, man. It's been 6 years for me.
6
6
years since you had a
years.
potato.
6 years.
Jeez.
Potato?
Yeah.
You've been
God,
avoiding
you're not
potatoes?
Irish.
6 years, man. 6 years.
Wow.
Brooke,
3 years.
3 years.
Maybe a little over 3 years.
No potatoes.
Mine's 3.5 years. Wait. I might have had a bite of one 2 years ago. Yeah, no, I took a bite off.
Yeah,
off
doesn't really count.
Well,
Take a
still.
bite of a potato off your wife's plate. doesn't count.
Fries. Yeah. It was fries. I
Well,
took
one
a bite
French
to see what
fry
it
doesn't
tasted
count.
like. One red wine.
Pick number 2 is a fillet.
Ooh, that looks good. Looks a little overdone. I
Cap
don't know.
and then fillet. I know that looked a little.
It's really raw in the middle because if I air fry them frozen, if it's frozen, which everything in my deep freeze is frozen, I use the air fryer, and you can keep it really rare in the middle and then seared on the outside.
I'm telling you, Brooke, if you ever want a career as my private chef,
I know, right?
I can't pay you anything.
Well, did you guys know that now that we've stopped eating potatoes, maybe we have to start eating them again because they're a health food?
I was just wondering, did anybody ever feel like they were healed by potatoes?
No, I always felt like I just made the worst decision in my life after eating potatoes.
Dude, I would get so big. I would just inflame everywhere after eating a potato.
Oh, that is blue rare. That looks delicious.
That looks really nice.
My grandmother made the world's greatest potato salad, but every time I ate it, I wanted to die.
I remember
like a couple hours later, it's like just trying to get through the intestines. It was rough. Rough.
Was never a big potato salad guy. I was more of a macaroni salad guy.
I hear you.
Yeah, I just remember going to the deli getting potato salad, like red potatoes. I don't know. I don't know, man. Like potatoes, I just so probably high on blasted on sugar all the time. I didn't realize the potato affected me that much. To be honest with you, because I was so freaking sky high with the sugar. So I was like, potato, what are you talking about? They're good. But then I always wanted to hit the Coca-Cola afterwards. So like I never really felt the effects of the potato. And if it was, I wasn't aware of it.
Well, Chris, I gotta ask. So you said you went without for 6 years. Why? Why did you just said, okay, no more potatoes from here on out?
Well, even 2000, I remember 2006. Really, I think that's I don't know, 2006. But I never really liked potatoes. Like I never really liked the traditional potato. I always wanted sweet potatoes. Even when my mother would make mashed potatoes, I'm like, do we have sweet potatoes? Like I wouldn't care.
French fries. You didn't care about those either?
Oh, because we're talking about 6 years to have any. Then yeah, maybe. Yeah, okay, maybe I did have between the 6 years, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious. I was gonna say all any potato, sweet potato, white potato, any potato.
Okay. Then perhaps I. Yeah. Okay, I get the context.
Okay.
I think potatoes are really pretty righteous. I mean, I'm a carnivore, but if you're gonna like incorporate some vegetable, I think potato is a pretty decent thing.
It's kind of, but you would think it's kind of more of a benign thing, but then again, I mean, we know if we eat potatoes raw, we'll die, right? So obviously they've got some kind of toxins. I mean, that's the question I have. How toxic is a potato?
Well, it's all scale, right?
I mean, I really think the potato is horrible. I mean, I'm just being real. This whole article is filled with lies. That's incredible. It's lies right out of its butthole. I mean, I don't know who comes up with this stuff, but this stuff's absolutely ridiculous. Helps your blood sugar. It's a starch, for God's sake. You kidding me?
Yeah.
Well, it's a really high glycemic starch. It breaks down really fast into the bloodstream, almost like a sugar,
Yeah, it says it helps the brain. My God,
baked
for God's sake.
Baked potato goes into the bloodstream faster than granulated sugar does.
Of course it does.
That's
it's
science.
Like crack.
Yes, you're right. I've heard that.
Yeah, they
like
did those experiments where they hooked people up to
yeah.
machines and fed them stuff.
That's right.
The baked potato was, you know, so right there we have a glucose and an insulin issue.
Absolutely.
But you wouldn't. But if you were eating it with steak, it wouldn't be like that blood sugar.
Well, no, it still spikes it, even if you eat the steak, because they're in constant fluctuation in chemistry, because the steak's trying to even it out and the potato's spiking it up. So it's kind of like a World War III in your body.
So it's like a wrestling match between steak and potatoes.
Yeah, and your chemistry in your body. Yeah, like a tornado goes right in.
Tornado. Well, and Chris, you said who writes this kind of stuff? Could I just point out that this article is on medicalmedium.com?
Oh my God,
Medical Medium.
Yeah.
The doctors are probably smoking up back in the back.
No, that's that one doctor who got the vision or something like that.
This is a guy who thinks he's getting his medical information from the spirit world.
Yeah.
I have his book. I have his book.
You do?
Someone strongly recommended it to me years ago. And I got the book and it was like, I read a bit of it, about a third of it or less. And I thought, he's just making shit up. He just pulls shit right out of his ass.
Anybody know Casey?
Like totally.
That's exactly it.
Casey
and then I just had to close the book and.
Yeah, Casey's following his. I don't think he's doing it anymore. He's doing something else now.
Casey's always doing something else now.
Yeah, I know.
Like that's how I became familiar with the medical medium, was Casey talking about it, and it's like, really, this guy's like getting medical information from the spirit world,
and you got to think his name is not. It's no surprise his name is Casey. Hence the word he's on a new case every week. You see, so that's how that works out.
Casey's the vegetable police guy. I don't know if you ever met him.
Yeah, he also is vegan. Camera conspiracy.
Yeah, he does camera conspiracy too. Yeah,
he's part of the cultish veganism. I understand.
He used to be. He was vegan for a while. Well, he's still kind of a lot of vegetables and stuff too.
As a person that was in that world, the new age world and all that stuff, why is it always the Aisha or whoever they're praying to, why does it always go straight to veganism or like pure plants, like Gaia worship? It's never I followed several of these people and it's always the same.
That's what I was.
I don't think there's anything wrong with getting your information from the spirit world. That's great, but it better be good information.
I didn't know what spirit it is.
Depends what spirits they're worshiping.
Depends on what spirit there is out there too. That's right.
So I think it can mislead you into some other, because in the Bible,
like tells you to eat potatoes.
Yeah, maybe that all comes from Baphomet or something. I'm just
I'm Irish, so I gotta give some kind of homage to potato.
All right.
Okay. Did it prevent the potato famine for the Irish? They called it potato famine.
No, it didn't.
What does that mean?
The reason the potato famine, they called it the potato famine, but basically the English, it was just an oppressive thing. The English was taking all the food, all the lamb, all the dairy, all the good food under penalty. They were shipping it out for years. And then the Irish were left with
just potatoes.
Mostly potatoes.
Yeah, what happened was the Irish were growing one strain of potato. A blight came in, wiped out the potato crop, and then people starved.
It's that other stuff, though. Is what I said. It was really an oppressive thing for years.
Right.
Okay, I see.
From the English.
Do I get
So
to kill the
were they
Irish?
living on potatoes by itself for a while there? Is that what the
Maybe at
impression
the
was?
very end or something.
At the very end? Okay.
I mean, millions of people died
Right, that's what I heard. Yeah, from straight
for,
up
for, for
starving out.
over a
Yeah.
long period of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the interesting thing. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's like such a contradiction. I don't know, but it's very fascinating because you guys ever heard of Penn and Teller? They're magicians.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that guy that was really heavy, I think his name was Penn.
Yeah.
one of them. Yeah.
Pendulum.
He went on the potato diet. And
Oh, that
Really?
is. He did.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right.
I knew he went
And,
on a diet. I didn't know what. Okay.
There's a
Yeah,
potato diet.
yes.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
Susan Powder in the 80s, she would talk about that also, about potatoes. She
I've come
also
across people been on
advocated that.
potato diet. Yeah.
And so, but the article says, which is really contradictory. It says help stabilize blood sugar, but but here it says soothes the nerves and helps with stress. How is that possible when my blood sugar is constantly fluctuating? That's scientifically impossible.
Well, it's steady.
So-
It regulates blood sugar by raising it up high and keeping it there.
Yeah, but then you got to eat more potatoes, then I'll never lose weight.
That's right. When I think that potato diet is a lot of times these people rebake the potatoes to cook them again, so it becomes a resistant starch. That was sort of the idea. It's like some of the more of the starch isn't going straight into your bloodstream. It's making it to the colon where it ferments into fatty acid chains or something. Was kind of the
Yeah.
theory.
How does that work exactly? The resistant starch.
Well,
Well-
I mean, like anything, things break down at different rates, and by cooking the potato twice, you're altering the starch, and then it doesn't digest as quickly. And supposedly, once it makes it down to the large intestine, the lower bowel, supposedly the microorganisms there break it down and convert it into fatty acids.
Like
Is
a
that-
like a
fermentation.
cow.
Huh?
Like the cow.
Yeah, it's like a cow converting grass into
Wow,
fatty acids. Yeah.
Is that true or theory, Tom?
Yeah, does that work?
Well, I've met people who swear by the diet. They're like, "Oh yeah, I do this diet every 5 years so I can get my weight down again." So apparently, it's a good way. It's a good method for yo-yo dieting. Which just
I
ask
mean,
me what a
they are
disaster that is.
filling. I mean, they are filling the
Well,
potatoes, so I could see.
They are filling.
You guys know who
right.
Kevin Smith is?
Yeah.
Yeah, the director.
No.
He made Mallrats and Chasing Amy and Clerks.
Jay and Silent Bob.
Jay
Oh,
and
yeah,
Silent
that
Bob.
guy. Yeah, Silent Bob.
I think
Silent
I
Bob.
heard him interview with him, and he was saying he did the potato diet. And I'm pretty sure it was him. I could be wrong, but he said, yeah, pretty much the thing is all you do is eat potatoes, and pretty soon you hate potatoes, so you can't eat them anymore. So like you're really hungry, and then you really are not looking forward to eating because you're just sick of freaking potatoes.
Huh.
Now, do you think people enter a state of ketosis eating just the potatoes?
That's a good question. I would assume not, but
Unless they just don't eat them, except one little potato a day.
yeah, not everybody who does like the potato diet is necessarily cooking them twice to create resistant starch, but some people do. So like they bake a whole bunch of potatoes, and then for their meal they rebake it, and then that supposedly creates a resistant starch. I know it's a thing. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it works. I don't know if it's healthy. I just know it's been a thing.
And we're not going to try.
Pretty much.
But the other side of the potato, it's from a plant, and all plants have toxins. So I think that's the other problem with it, because it has enzymes inhibitors.
Right.
Right there's another problem.
All wild potatoes are toxic to the point where human beings can't eat them without detoxifying them.
Right.
And even the domesticated potatoes, if they try and eat a raw potato, it'll make them sick.
It's a nightshade. So like tomatoes and peppers, if
Oh, it
you
is a
actually
nightshade,
eat the
okay.
plant itself, it's poisonous. The
And
fruit
it's-
isn't
it's-
as poisonous.
Yeah. The leaves and stuff like that on a potato plant are
But
poisonous.
if you ate the eyes of the potato, you could grind up those eyes, for instance, and mix it with a little flour, and it used as a rat poison.
Really?
Because the eyes have arsenic in.
Jesus.
Damn.
But nobody eats the eyes. You cut those out.
Yeah.
What is the eye of the potato?
Man, I'm
little
staying
potato
away
that
from
grows on
plants.
the
This thing's
outside.
crazy.
They're what?
Grow out of the potato.
Oh, that's why you cut those off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like the root or whatever, because that's when it's like growing out, isn't it?
Well, it is like the sprout. Like if you were going to grow some potatoes, you could cut a potato up that has a bunch of eyes in it in different pieces, and then plant those, and then they'll start potato plant.
How does a potato have eyes? Never looked at me.
I think I've actually eaten the eyes of the potato. I think I've done that before.
That explains a lot.
Right. I mean, potatoes are evil. The potato bugs, those are one freaky ass looking little beetles.
Yeah, well, God
Big.
probably put the potato bugs there to warn us. Hey, don't eat these things. Don't mess with them, man.
But
I mean, aren't those poisonous to people?
I don't hate potatoes.
Potato bugs or potatoes?
Yeah, potato bugs.
But I don't hate potatoes.
See, I never asked.
If I was going to
maybe
eat,
it is poisonous.
If I was going to eat some carbohydrate, and there was no fruit, and I was going to eat some carbohydrate, chose to eat some carbohydrate, and I was having a steak, and there was a baked potato, that would probably be a pretty good choice.
Wait, I thought you'd go for carrots.
Well, that's not really, you go for carrots not as a carbohydrate, because it really doesn't get digested. It's really sort of an endotoxin reliever.
Okay, but that's not the same case with because both of them are roots, right?
So
right,
you eat the carrot as an antidote to the potato?
Sorry?
You eat the carrot as an antidote to the potato?
Yeah, that probably is a pretty good idea. And as an antidote to that one resistant starch recipe where you're baking potatoes and then cooking them again till there was a brick. That sounds kind of terrible.
Yeah, and that's a chemical nightmare factor in the stomach. Man, that's an explosion going off.
Well, and I just like to point out, it seems very unlikely that we evolved to eat this way. I mean, can you imagine if like there were actually potatoes available? And let's just say for the people out there that potatoes are a new world food. So Europe and Asia did not have access to potatoes. So after Columbus came and started bringing a bunch of exports. If they did come sooner, they disappeared, right?
But there was like the manioc and the taro root, different starchy roots that people
and yucca.
Yeah, that people would eat, starchy roots.
Yeah, so like that food was not around as we evolved, right? Because we didn't evolve in the New World, right?
No, but I think is the manioc and the taro root from the New World? I know potatoes.
I don't think the taro root is, but I think something we don't eat but is eaten commonly is like the cassava, right?
Yeah,
you get tapioca.
Cassava.
Yeah, and again, it's another toxic plant that has to be detoxified before you eat it, right?
Right.
It's like we mentioned this last time. The same thing with olives. You can't eat an olive off a tree, right? You've got to detoxify. You got to cure it.
Can you just imagine how many people die eating plants that we're talking about this? This must be insane.
Mm-hmm.
Well, remember that kid who wrote the book Into the Wild?
Sick.
He died.
What happened?
Plants. He died eating plants.
Oh my God.
He picked the wrong little seed or something, and
Jesus.
He had a book about wild plants and what you could live on, survive on.
Wow.
And it turns out there was like some kind of like actual discrepancy in the description of this particular seed or something in that book. I remember reading later. Anyway, he used that book and he picked the wrong seed and he stored a bunch and ate that. And it was some kind of inhibitor, protein inhibitor, or some kind of phytate, some kind of inhibitor that prevented him from taking any other nourishment from anything else.
Wow.
I mean, I'm just blown away of like how much this makes sense because, I couldn't even turn a steering wheel eating plants because I have so much wrist pain. And I was at BJ's today and I was talking to somebody and he has a son. He was saying, yeah, my son doesn't really like to eat a lot of vegetables. Well, innate, we already know what's right for us. We already know. And I think we've just been so covered up with so much brainwashing, really. And it's just amazing how much that is. And now hearing this in perspective where, watch out for the potato eyes, the inhibitors, I'm like, I'm never touching a vegetable ever again in my life.
Well, I was at the gym the other day and I was talking to this kid because I was doing my squats and he was counting the plates. He's like, "Oh man, you got 5 plates on each side," and I said, "No, I got 6." And so he started talking about food because I attribute it to the carnivore, and I told him, yeah, I just eat meat because I had arthritis really bad. And this guy's half my age, easy. And he's like, well, yeah, but I just kind of eat whatever is available because I'm really busy and I don't have time to really cook. And I get it. And I think to some extent that's where how a lot of us got here. It was like we were making choices, but for the most part, we're running out at lunchtime from work and grabbing something or whatever, right? And not necessarily brown bagging it and bringing what we should bring. I mean, I got to that point when I was really sick. I was bringing my food to work, but I was still eating the wrong thing because I was making all these fancy salads and I was eating basmati rice all the time. And I might have even had some healthy baked potato because I remember like them pushing baked potatoes as a health food, and I think that's when Wendy's put it on the menu. They started coming out with all like fake sour cream, you
Oh,
know, is I think there's one my mom used to buy when I was a kid called Emu or something. I think it's called Emu. I don't know what it's made out of, but it's fake sour cream.
Really? Who's
That's what
faking sour cream?
late or it's
Oh,
no non-fat or something. I don't know.
yeah, in the
Ah,
80s, they did the whole non-fat thing. Then they just dump more sugar into things. Yeah.
I think Jenny Craig and what's the other one? Weight Watchers. They pushed a lot of this no fat, low fat, and
Slim Fast was another
yeah.
fad.
So baked potato, easy and cheap, right?
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
with fast food availability, it's so easy to just eat carnivore when you don't have it. Like for this kid who was talking to you, when you don't have time to cook, you could just go to Wendy's and get burgers.
Well, I told him, I said, look, man, I have raw ribeye sitting in my trunk right now, and I take it with me to work. And he's like, really? I'm like,
Yeah.
Well,
seriously, it's
best thing
delicious.
I think that people don't realize is how little you actually have to eat. You just don't have to eat at all. I mean, you
Yeah.
can like eat later. You don't have if you're in a rush, you just skip eating. It's no big deal.
Yeah, your mealtime can be really flexible, you
Yeah,
know.
or
exactly.
you could do what Chris is doing. Chris, what's your new thing? I
So
think.
right here, I'm drinking raw eggs, straight up raw eggs. Just bam, bam, bam. That's what I'm doing.
There you go. Is that yolk and whites both?
That's the whole shabam, bam,
What do
ba
you
ba
do?
bam.
What
Do
about
you,
the shells?
do you
Are you
blend it
grinding them up?
first?
No blending, no nothing. Just
You
straight up.
shake it just straight up.
Shake it. Yeah, I shake it because sometimes the yolks
Yeah, the
have
yolk's
to go
kind
through
of
those tiny
right.
holes. So yeah, you need to shake it up a little bit. Yeah,
That's what
of
I
course.
thought. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. I just went to BJ's. I got a whole humongous thing, 5 dozen eggs, 5 dozen eggs. Man, I'm slamming, dude, slamming.
That's what
So
I'm
what
talking
is
about.
BJ's for us on the West
Yeah, what's
Coast?
BJ's?
BJ's would be Sam's Club for you
Sam's
guys, or
Club.
Costco's.
Yeah, because here BJ's is a restaurant.
Oh,
Was
They
it?
interesting.
Oh.
they make craft beer and pizza and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
was
man.
like,
No, I'm not going to that place, bro. No way, man. That's
And if
prohibited.
you meet a special woman at night, you can ask. Yeah,
no, thank you.
you guys Zoom. All right, that one's
Yeah, we're trying to pretend we didn't hear that.
Try not to
Yeah,
get between
and
them.
even if I did meet her and she wanted to eat potato, I'd have to break up with her right there and then anyway. Like, see you later. I'm out.
You're
Yeah,
out.
that's a boundary stop.
Would you?
Would you? No, I'd let him
Would
eat
I?
He
potatoes.
throws that back
Me?
like it's whiskey,
Of
Slamming,
course, I don't
slamming
want
raw
somebody eating
eggs like
potatoes. I
they're
don't want to be eating
Manhattans.
potatoes, man. I want a woman that's straight up carnivore, yo. That's what's up. I'm talking about no vegetable lady. Kidding me? Jesus.
Hey, you put ice in that? Because it sounds
Yeah, yeah. I put ice in there a little bit. Yeah.
okay.
is
Wow, it's
ice
like an egg
and
cocktail.
eggs. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a cocktail, right? I put a little bit of salt, Celtic sea salt, mix it up, some ice, shake it, drink it. It's good.
I made the frozen custard today. I haven't had it yet, but it's cream, egg yolks, butter. Put it in the ice cream maker, a little salt,
Nice.
a little
Nice.
baking powder, so it's got a little air in it, so it's not too solid.
Nice.
what? The baking powder? I've never done that.
Yeah,
So
it
you
just
see it?
makes bubbles in there, so it's not quite as dense. When it freezes,
Really?
it doesn't freeze quite as hard. Yeah.
So Tom, was it again butter?
So it's basically I took like an 18 pack of eggs and separated out the yolks, put the whites aside, and then I mixed it. I basically the ice cream maker makes a half gallon, right? So 2 quarts. So I put a quarter of heavy whipping cream in there, mixed. I just use a little hand mixer, mix the yolks in. Then I pour in melted butter, and then a pinch of salt. And then if you want it sweet, you can add some sort of sweetener if you want. But
That's the ice
and
cream.
I put a
Ice cream.
tablespoon of vanilla in there.
No,
What's that?
that's not carnivore ice cream. That's just his custard.
Well,
Oh, that's
it's pretty. It's carnivore except for
Yeah,
the
carnivore.
vanilla.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
carnivore.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
mean, I make
cream.
ice cream. I might, I use cream and yolks and vanilla and salt and maybe instant
I
coffee.
think the butter is the magic thing, and I noticed that because it was on the mammoth
Interesting.
carton. This little mammoth ice.
Yeah.
Man, I gotta try those recipes, man. Gee whiz.
When
Yeah,
I read the mammoth carton, it's actually not ice cream. It said custard, which I think the difference is it's like
Egg
almost
yolks.
half egg yolk, right?
Yeah,
So,
egg yolks is the difference.
Yeah. So then I have an ice cream maker, throw it in there, and it's fantastic. Justin's had it before. It tastes really good.
Some people cook the egg yolks.
Yeah.
And I think that's the custard. So you heat some of the cream or milk or whatever you're using, half and half or whatever, and then you add the egg yolks to it and whisk it, and you sort of slightly thicken it. So you cook the egg yolks. I don't.
That's exactly how Joe Zumbo
That's
said
custard.
it. Yeah, that's exactly how Joe Zumbo said it was supposed to be done as custard. Just what.
And if you want to make it extra good, add bacon.
You could.
Oh, that's right. We added bacon one time.
Right.
I have had
Now you're talking.
at the end, like if you flavor it like with maple or something, and then you add the crunchy bacon.
Now this might be healing, far more healing than potatoes.
Yeah. So some of the claims here are that a potato is antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal.
That's
I mean,
it's because it's toxic.
Everything dies on it, right?
You want me to share it? You want to read a little of it?
Sure.
Since that's why we're here. I know we're having a good time, but there was a reason for this get together.
I just want to read the little picture there. Can you blow up the picture or zoom in, enhance?
The health benefits, healing benefits of potatoes.
Yeah.
It's a good question. Can I? I don't know if I can.
And just like from what is it called? CSI. Enhance. Focus in.
Hit control and scroll in. It should enhance automatically.
So it says it's abundant in lysine, which inhibits viruses that cause chronic illness. Is that what you always try to remember? The lysine, or is that not it, Tom?
Lysine is often recommended when people have canker sores and things like that. They'll take extra lysine.
I think it's is it glycine or lysine ratio that
No, it doesn't sound right.
No, that's not it.
Okay.
It's the one that Paul Saladino was going on about.
That would be glycine. He talks about glycine a lot.
It's glycine ratio to something else, and it's not lysine. But anyways.
To methionine.
Like even when it says here, the truth is toxic oil that potatoes are fried in. It's not the oil. The oil, first of all, is from a soy. That's why it's bad. It's plant-based anyway, but it's amazing how misleading healing benefits. What about the dangers of the potato? Let's really get real. So there's got to be some kind of money behind this whole thing. I don't know, man. This is a scary article.
I think the greater danger would be that fried oil, that oil that they're frying it in.
Well, it's a good question, right?
It's a plant-based oil also.
Well, it'd be canola oil or soy oil or corn oil.
I enjoy the debate.
Dangerous.
The debate between like Gary Taubes and Tucker Goodrich. What's worse for you, the sugar and the carbs or the seed oils?
I think it's the seed oils.
And they both have some very damning evidence to back up their arguments. So I don't know. I don't know which is worse, to be honest with you. And I guess at the end of the day, it's hard to say which one did more damage to society as a whole.
Actually, that is hard to tell.
I think overall it's bad. I think it's a combination because you got the oils that when you fry the vegetable oils, they're short. I think they're short. No, they're long. No, I think they're long, medium chain fatty acids.
They're polyunsaturated.
Right. And I think they're long molecules or short, I'm not sure, but what ends up happening when you heat them, they become rancid. So they turn into trans fats. That's what ends up happening.
Well, that's one of the things.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Tom said, what would you say? What was the debate with that and what else?
Oh, what was worse for society in general? Was it the carbohydrates or was it the seed oils?
The reason I think another reason I think it's worse, the seed oils, is because the body, the human body does take in carbohydrate. Even as an infant, it takes in a very sugary breast milk, and it even creates and makes glucose in the body. But it doesn't. But seed oils, it doesn't even know what to do with it. It screws up the mitochondria. They're oxidized, and they make this all kinds of other problem molecules when we try to burn them. I mean, they're just bad news all along.
Yeah, but our teeth won't survive.
From plants. It's that, the seed is the most protected part of the plant with all of its poison.
I think it's pretty evident, though, that we didn't keep eating carbohydrates after infancy. Otherwise, the humans or pre-humans would have had more tooth decay. And that's the big difference between modern humans and pre-agricultural humans.
Except in the islands, except in areas that fruit grew. We did eat that.
But the other thing is milk is the breast milk was from animals, and we're animals and humans/animals, but you take the fat from the plant and the plant carbohydrates. I think that's why I think both of them equal each other out. If I really sit down and think about it, because I'm that guy that had a lot of plant food and a lot of rancid fats in my life, and it did no health benefits for me at all, even though I thought it was, but
But if you go back far enough, like our grandparents and great grandparents, they ate sugar. They didn't have seed oils, but they ate sugar. They, they root beer and
right.
Yeah, but that stuff was only available after about the turn of the century. Prior to that, it was rare and expensive.
Right, but they did
illegal.
But they did eat it, but they didn't eat seed oils. That didn't happen until manufacturers decided.
But the availability of sugar coincides with the onset of heart disease. So like heart attacks were unheard of before like 1900. It was until the early 1900s that it started becoming noticed, right? And then we get the seed oil slightly later, right?
But when you look at those graphs, it go like Michael Eads has that graph on his talk. It goes straight up as it proceeds with how much seed oil that we're eating.
Mm-hmm.
It goes just straight up, and our sugar, we had eaten it, and so it doesn't climb the same way. I mean, I think that your metabolism, once it's wrecked by seed oils, then certainly eating too many carbohydrates screws it up worse.
Well, and that's what makes it such a great debate. What is worse, the seed oils or the carbohydrates? And I think we all agree that they're both bad for us, right?
But another thing, if you eat some carbohydrate, if you have some ice cream, or if you eat, I don't know, a piece of candy or something, you burn it up. And if you eat seed oils, you don't burn it up. You store it. You store it in your body, and it's harder and harder for it to come out, and it accumulates in your body over years.
Well, you can burn off the carbohydrates unless you have an excess, right? So if you're already replete with calories and you're eating carbohydrates, you're going to store it as fat, just like you store seed oil.
But let's just say you're not eating over the amount that you're burning, but you're using, but we're comparing seed oils and sugars. You can burn those sugars up. With the seed oils, your body tries to store them, stash. I mean, that's why it takes 3 or 4 years to actually get rid of.
Yeah, especially if they're like oxidized or whatever. Right. Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
It's longer damage.
You said 3 or 4
accumulated damage.
You said 3 or 4 years to get rid of like the oils in your body?
Yes.
Up to 6-7 years.
Yeah.
Whoa, wow.
So
they're
like
bad news.
particularly like hydrogenated oils, we don't have a mechanism to break them down. So if your stomach acid, whatever your stomach acid doesn't break down in the beginning, anything that you absorb will be floating around your body, and your body just really doesn't have the enzymes to deal with it. So it takes a long time to get rid of it.
I'm sorry, guys. My Wi-Fi cut out, just went killed on me.
Well, you're
That's
still
all
with
right.
us.
We can hear
We
it.
hear you.
So here's the thing. So if these potatoes are healthy or a healthy starch, this guy claiming that you can eat them, but you have to eat them without any cheese, without any sour cream, without any bacon,
Can you salt?
without any, I think
Right.
just salt. Yeah, if that. And I don't know, plain potato. I mean, I feel like, I mean, the texture, I like like we were talking about baked potatoes. The texture, I mean, yeah, that's nice. And so I feel like a lot of this plant-based stuff, it's like they're really, really close. Like they're on the trail. Like I get it. Like, yeah, if people were to eat plain baked potatoes and they come from French fries, seed oils, all that stuff, yeah, they probably would feel a bit better. You know, I think they would have an improvement, and there might be even marked improvement. But I just feel like a lot of that nutrition, and then they're if they're going more plant based, like eventually it's going to catch up with them if they're avoiding the dairy and the meat. You know.
I think what catches up with them is that they don't have the nutrients of animal foods. I mean, if you have a nutrient-rich diet full of animal foods, you could have some potatoes too, because basically you're getting your nutrients from animal foods, from meat and from dairy or eggs or whatever. And so it's all provided. And the other stuff is just sort of extra energy fuel you could burn off.
But Brooke, don't you think that's extra work for the body? Because in keto carnivore, they don't suggest baked potatoes. It's just extra work for the body. You know what I mean? Don't you think?
Well, yeah, but keto carnivore is just concerned about ketones, getting your ketone level up and not eating carbs. But let's say you're a runner and you're eating plenty of meat, and then you can throw some potatoes in there. It doesn't even matter.
But you're still gonna get elevated insulin.
Yeah.
I mean, this has been
You're
shown
just
in
going to burn them
laboratory.
up.
The potato still has toxic substances. It still has fibers in it.
Yeah.
And all stuff that most of us don't do well with. I mean, if you tolerate potatoes, you tolerate potatoes. More power to you.
I think of all the plant foods, I think that potato is probably, I'm guessing, probably more benign, like white rice, than kale.
Well, if we compared it to white rice, it is much harder to digest than white rice. So that's why a lot of the athletes, when they have to add in carbohydrates, like your endurance people and your strongmen and stuff like that, they generally don't eat much in the way of potatoes because it does tend to cause some digestive distress.
Yeah, I think
white rice is kind of the go-to. Yeah,
it could. But I mean, but if you're like that, you're looking at all the different plants that you could be utilizing, including nuts and seeds.
Potatoes, one of the more innocuous ones.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I would tend to agree.
I think nuts are really actually kind of difficult.
Yeah, nuts, I'd agree. Nuts are much harder to digest than people think. And if you eat more than one or two, then you realize, oh crap, like try and eat a bunch of almonds and tell me how you feel, eat a half a pound of almonds and then let me know how you're doing.
As a person that's done that, don't do that. That was the last plant that I had. Well, like regularly buying it and eating it was a half bag of sprouted almonds. Really good. But my stomach the next day was in so much pain. And I haven't touched almonds. Yeah, I haven't touched almonds since. So it's been like 2 years since I've had an almond.
Plus, once again, you have those polyunsaturated fatty acids that you have to get rid of.
Right.
The poop is in almonds. Yeah.
I think the potato is very dangerous. It's kind of, because my grandmother, she's full German. She's from Germany, and she ate potato, and she needed to get teeth, and her teeth were, but she was very, she was definitely good as far as she was really healthy for the most part. She lived until she was like 101 or something. Wow. So my grandmother came from very good genes, because I think she was born like 1908. So I think when you're on the farm, when you're growing up on the farm, you're having like farm food. I mean, it's a whole different thing. But I think also you know, that's kind of what Thomas says, you know, back then, you know, we always ate animals. And so I think when we start inviting plants, and like, again, I go back to the point where, you know, people die when they ate plants and they had to figure out. So,
well, you know,
to me, it's like it's very dangerous to me.
I think that back then, like is that your grandmother? Your grandmother's farm.
Yeah.
They're eating lots of animal fats. That's the fat they're using. They're not using oils usually. They're using animal fats. And the vegetables that they probably could store and eat and store easily were things like potatoes, roots.
Yeah.
They could store without refrigeration.
Carrots.
Yeah.
Carrots and sand in the cellar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, but the best thing to do with a carrot is give it to your friend the horse.
Remember, Mr. Ed, of course the horse, a horse. Of course, the horse is a horse. Mr. Ed, Nick and I
heard that before. Yeah. I'm just saying.
101. Your grandmother lived to be 101.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Was she hale at that point? Could she get around?
Yeah.
Wow. So she was in pretty good shape at 101.
My grandmother, my grandmother was like robust and
How was she mentally? Was she like cognizant?
Oh, hell yeah.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
I don't think you hear about anyone that's cognizant at 101. I mean, it's ultra rare now.
My grandmother was quite the exception of most.
Took care of herself, or was she in a nursing home or anything?
Nope, she lived home. She had nurses that came to her home. She didn't want to go. She didn't want to go to a nursing home because studies show. I don't know if like it's with everybody, but they you know, there could be problems of like shock.
I don't blame her.
Yeah.
Right
on. Well, it wants to be locked in a building with a bunch of sick people. I mean, come on.
They give you drugs and they give you crappy food.
And then get COVID vaccine and die anyway. Now these days, forget about it.
Right on.
But she was at home. She was cooking for herself. That's amazing.
Yeah, grandma.
My great aunt Lavina still lives on the farm in Wisconsin. She's like 97. She's still
wow.
So it's not a working farm, I don't think anymore, but she still goes out and mows like, I don't know how many acres on a riding mower. Yeah. Lives, makes it through the winter, no problem, cooks her own food. Yeah.
And she lives alone? Or
yeah, she lives alone.
Oh wow. She doesn't have the life alert. I've fallen and I can't get up.
She might, but I seriously doubt she needs it. And we're back there. Last time I saw her was a couple of years ago. Went over to visit her. She lives, not too far from where my girlfriend's dad lives. And we drove over to visit her, and she was as spry as could be. She was talking about politics and the news and
what does she eat?
Typical meat and potatoes.
I mean, that was good. I like that.
So I both sides of the family, I was just having a conversation with my random cousins about carnivore. And both sides of the family, we had a great aunt that lived to be like 104, and the other one lived to be like 101 on different sides, and they both ate a half a package of bacon every morning for breakfast.
Of course.
And they probably had toast with that. And they're all Norwegian, so they definitely drank coffee. That's like, I think coffee's your first meal after you're born. I'm not sure, but anyways, yeah. So, they ate bacon every morning, and a lot of people, even carnivores, sometimes are skittish about baking. Is it might have some sugar and it's cured and nitrosamines and blah 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 blah. And it's pork. It's always second to beef, right? But apparently people live long and prosper eating bacon every day.
Especially the old pork, from the back in the old days.
How they fed the animals, where
the pork would be getting all the leftovers from the farm and like the whey and the extra milk and extra eggs.
Yeah. I mean, when I have money, I get food from the Amish people that farm traditionally. And I found them through Weston A. Price. Weston A. Price was a dentist, went around the world, studied culture, less disease. So I kind of set myself off first with keto, carnivore kind of style, but I couldn't keep eating vegetables because I would have wrist pain. So
Yeah.
I had to give up vegetables for personal health reasons.
Where do you live, Chris?
New York.
Upstate?
No, Long Island.
Hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of Amish in Long Island.
Well, they come down from Pennsylvania, Lancaster,
How they just
Pennsylvania.
bring food down to sell.
Yeah, which is really beautiful. Good people.
Yeah. Oddly enough, my girlfriend's father hauled produce for the Amish for a long time. So like when we go over there, we'll just drive over. He, some Amish people he knows. It's like, all right, you got any eggs, strawberries? Buys all kinds of stuff from him. So it was funny because it's the kids do all the work, and mom and dad always seem to be on vacation. I don't know what that's about. I didn't know the Amish went on vacation, but apparently it's a thing.
Man, yo.
I'm not sure if that's typical.
There's like a dozen barefoot kids running around working their asses off.
Man,
Mom and dad are nowhere in sight.
Right.
That's fun.
That's the life, right?
That's the way it should be.
Oh, yeah.
Raymond, better have a couple more kids, Raymond.
Mm.
Run the farm.
Raymond, do you have 2 kids?
I
Or
do.
what?
2 kids.
You have 2 kids.
Yeah.
How are your chickens?
They're good. All's good.
Oh, the chicks.
I have.
I forgot you
Oh,
both.
Raymond has chicks. Oh,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
asking.
you both do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we might have a couple of quails that might have they escaped and they're doing their own thing. So I don't know if they're dead or not. So but
Sneaky
yeah, we have
quails.
like 20 of them. So
You have 20 tickets?
I think that's how many she bought.
You
That
have
with the quail. Yeah.
Oh,
Chicks.
you have 20 quail.
Yeah. No, like 5 quails and the rest chicks.
You have 15 chickens. Wow.
Do we have
Yeah.
to do math now?
They are grown now.
That's
so.
a lot. Yeah.
Oh,
You
cool.
have a lot of eggs.
You know what I want to try? Because I want to try the Filipino dish. Like they have like 2 things I want to try that are Filipino dishes.
Don't
One, they
say
have
balut.
these eggs.
The eggs, yeah.
Yeah.
I knew you were gonna say that. Yeah.
I
The
wanna try
balut,
that.
the duck egg.
The
It's
duck egg.
a quail. Is it quail? I don't know. It's quail or something.
No.
even
Oh,
chicken
is it a little egg or a big egg?
I don't know, but they just eat it like raw, I think.
Yeah.
It's called balut.
Balut, yeah.
Oh, that's a
It's horrible.
fermented duck egg.
Right.
Oh no, not
The
the
baby
fermented.
duck in
I
it.
remember I was seeing it where it's a bit. Oh.
It's a partially
Yeah,
formed
a little
baby.
baby duck egg. Yeah.
Yeah.
Partially formed.
I said let the duck grow up. It's a
They're
much better
horrible.
deal.
They like it the best when there's a little duck in it, where they can eat the fur and everything.
The little tiny bits of feathers.
Wow.
Little feather
Little
formation.
feathers. Yeah. That's
That
how
is
they like it best.
Now, every
Yeah.
time somebody eats balut, you're preventing a Peking duck or a duck à l'orange, something
Not always duck
something
though.
that I'd look forward
Chicken,
to.
too.
So please don't eat it. Let it
It's-
grow up.
it's also
and become
chicken.
tastier.
It's not always duck.
It's a
Sometimes-
delicacy though for the Vietnamese. They love that stuff.
Yeah.
That was
I had
Filipino.
some and we didn't know. We were going on I think I told the story. We were going on the Mekong on a river, on like a little river tour or something. Little boat. Anyway, we got some eggs from the market and they had numbers on them. And I thought, I wonder if this is like 3-minute egg or 4-minute egg, like how long it's been cooked, hard boiled eggs. And I remember they were smiling at us when we were buying a few, like they don't know.
Damn tourists are gonna get a
So we
surprise.
opened them.
Yeah.
I opened them on the river trip. I opened one thinking it was hard boiled egg, and it was like a partial. I was about ready to eat it. It was a partially formed chick. It was so gross.
Wow.
It was gross.
Wow.
Do it, Chris. Do it, Chris. I want to see
Do
it
it. Yeah.
live.
Put them in your thermos and just
There you go.
sip on some.
Chunky.
I would do it. I would take the energy of the beautiful nature that was given to me. So I would do it. No, I would do it. I don't
Better
work
you
it.
than me.
Try it. Yeah.
It just wasn't. There was no yolk. It was like this wet, tiny, partially formed chicken.
No, I totally get it. Just add some salt and
Sounds
rock out.
delicious.
There you go.
Man.
I'll do it with you, Chris. Let's do it.
All right, we do it, man.
I'll
And
do
then
it
there's
up.
another dish that's like I think blood, like pig's blood. That I want to try.
That's good.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
pig's blood's good.
That's delicious.
We grow up eating something called crube, and it's either piglet or calf's blood usually, and they would cook it in a pan and thicken it with flour, and then you eat it with eggs.
Wow.
It's got
sounds good.
yeah.
I've had the pure blood and it's thickened and then like the tray and then cut like cubes of dark red tofu.
It's like blood
milky
jello
just like
kind of
tofu. And it's just blood. And then they slip it into soup. It's really good.
congealed blood. Yeah, I've seen that. I've never had it.
It's good.
Man, I gotta sacrifice an animal. Gee whiz.
I like that.
Yeah.
Right.
It was like red tofu. You could feed it to vegans, say it was like, you know.
Yeah, right. Oh shoot, man. Messing with them.
Are you guys
Oh,
plotting against the
that's
vegans
blood.
again?
So there, we've given
Really
people
kids.
many other options besides potatoes to eat that are very healthy.
There we go.
Yeah, did
Yeah.
anybody see The Martian? Did what's his name? Did he look like
Mark
he was
Wahlberg.
Did he? No, it's the other dude.
Oh, I always mix up the two.
You know, the Born Identity guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
I
not
know.
Mark Wahlberg.
No,
no,
Whoops.
it's not.
that's the other guy.
But anyways, he had to live on potatoes, so he could hopefully get back to Earth, right?
Oh,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There are potatoes growing in Mars?
Well,
they
he had
took
to
him
grow
with.
them.
That was the experiment, was to see if they could grow them there
Oh.
in like a dome. You're right.
is this a movie or this is like real life?
No, this is a movie. Yeah,
Oh, thank
we
God.
haven't made it to Mars yet. So, but in the movie, like, after the movie came out, I saw these articles about how the potato might be the perfect food.
Right,
It's like,
right.
no, not so
Maybe
much.
that would be the egg.
Yeah, egg
There
would
you
be
go,
a
the
lot
egg.
closer.
You
And
know,
it could be, yeah, eating a half formed chicken or duck egg is probably better than eating a potato.
You know,
it
I
may
have
not. It may
to
not
point
even
out
be
though that you
movie.
said your 103-year-old or 101-year-old grandmother, and then Thomas, your great aunts that are in their 97, they were both eating meat and potatoes. So we do have to sort of,
Oh yeah.
mention that.
But
my
I mean,
grandmother
potatoes,
was losing
again,
her teeth
potatoes have
too.
only been available for the last 600 years or so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brooke's like, I'm Irish. I'm sticking with the potatoes. She's like,
It's the thing of like, how much can we tolerate that we did not evolve to eat? That's the real question.
Yeah,
And I think the answer is different for different people, and it depends on the
Yeah.
conditions that we developed eating the wrong diet primarily. Right.
Absolutely.
And if we were just eating some potato once in a while, but the rest animal foods, I don't think there'd probably anyone would have.
I think I could get away with like sitting down and eating a plate of French fries and ketchup if I wanted to. I really don't think it would be that big a deal. Like, I don't think I'd be that sick. I'd probably get heartburn or something, and I may not feel so good the next day, but I don't think but I'm not motivated to do it. Right. I'd rather eat a ribeye, to be honest with you.
I did have that slice of banana cream pie, and
You
I
did.
came out on the other side, and I'm okay. And I had one day where I kind of had like a headache and had some like tired, but I mean, compared to what I thought was going to happen to me, it was really not a big deal. So I guess we heal, but I don't want to keep. I feel like, and maybe I get it. There's different theories with this, but I don't want to keep hitting that lever either, though. Like, I feel like that's dangerous. Like, I'm healed. I don't want to make myself sick again. And every time I hit that lever, whether it would be a potato, a French fry, banana cream pie, whatever, it's a slippery slope. I feel like, even for a person that does not have food addiction. And I know, Christopher, one of your things is food addiction. So for you, like, I mean, you could go down really, really fast, right? So, I mean, I do caution people. I get it, but I've worked way too damn hard to get as healthy as I am, and I'm still not where I want to be. I'm still getting better, and I feel like going off carnivore or playing around in that arena, whether it's benign or not, would just impede my healing or slow it down. And even if it slows it down just a tiny bit, I don't want to postpone even another day of my life where I couldn't be as healthy as possible. I think that's the way I look at it.
Yeah,
well,
and banana, what'd you say? Banana cream pie or something?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not the slippery slope. That's like landed at the bottom of the slope.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
Some
when
people
Justin
won't come
goes
after
out, he
that.
goes out hard, Justin. He doesn't play around, man. When he chooses something, he's like, boom. He doesn't
I think all of us are kind of, afraid of going down the wrong path for too long because we lived a sad life, miserable life. We were in a lot of pain, or like in Justin's case, he missed a lot of living because he was down with a migraine, and he's done his physical pain. And Raymond had horrible digestive issues, and his quality of life was poor. And I think those are our reasons for not eating a plate of French fries or whatever.
Good enough reason for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the wrist pain and the arthritis for me and the inflammation, that's enough reason why I don't touch that stuff either.
And remember, French fries are not just potatoes. They're nasty seed oils too.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Well, not if you do it yourself. You can like go. What's that place called? Five Guys and a Burger. Five,
Right.
Yeah.
They use peanut oil.
They still use peanut oil, but you can.
This is true.
You can make French fries with tallow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, they used tallow to make French fries at McDonald's when we were little kids.
They did at one point, yeah. And then it was taken away from them. They had to comply.
That's right. That's right. Got that. Yeah.
So yeah, and I mean, you could make an argument. You could make fries in an air fryer, right, with no oil if you really wanted to. In fact, I saw people making like corn dogs, but they were making a batter with egg and pork rinds.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't really have anything to fry anything in. I'd have to go find some tallow or something to fry it in. I'm like, maybe I could just try that in the air fryer and see if I could come out with a hot dog that was breaded with pork rinds, because that might be kind of cool.
And then dip them in sour cream.
There you
That
go.
would be even cooler. All right, guys, did we beat this potato to death?
No.
All right.
Don't eat it because you'll die.
Nobody but Brooke eat potatoes. We'll see what happens.
I mean, I'm not eating potatoes now, but I think that potato would be one of those things that,
Do you think the potato has magical healing powers?
No.
Oh.
I mean, not that I know of. Not that I know of.
I think we can all live with that.
You get to keep your carnivore card for now, Brooke.
Absolutely.
We're gonna mark
eating a steak as we talk.
We're gonna put little potato marks on the back every time you transgress.
A big potato. Yeah.
Well, until next time, eat some meat and feel better, everybody. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and like the video. Pass the link on to people that'll enjoy it or get something out of it. Leave us your comments. Let us know what you think. Keep an eye out for our new short ribs. We're going to do some short format videos. Raymond's already got some out. Yours are called Carnivore Bites, right?
Nice.
That's right.
Chris has a channel. I haven't seen it yet, but we'll be sure and get some information on that.
Yeah.
And Brooke, what are you up to these days?
I'm going to have to get a channel.
All right.
Yeah, you should.
My channel is Life is Good 287. It's just everything is one thing. Life is Good 287. Everything's combined it together. No spaces between 287.
So, all right.
It's a heavy metal channel. Chris is actually a very avid guitar player.
No, it has a lot of variations. I have a lot of philosophical videos. I have one guitar with acoustic guitar, but Facebook has a lot of my guitar videos.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Well,
yes, sir.
Until next time, whatever you do,
don't eat the potato.